You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Panic at White House over Trump's July 4th plans. Who thought this was a good idea? Based on an article by Tom Bogany. Spectacle for a ghost crowd. The power behind the pageant. This is not a story about a holiday celebration gone awkward. It is a story about a president using state machinery to manufacture an image and then panicking when reality refuses to cooperate. Trump holds the institutional power here. The White House, the organizers, the security apparatus, and the public stage all exist to serve his performance. The problem is not public confusion. The problem is that the performance may not attract an audience. The real decision was optics, not celebration. The source makes the central fact plain. Officials are scrambling because Trump was embarrassed by the thin crowd at the last rally, and Independence Day has been recast as a reputational repair job. Free tickets, a late-night fireworks schedule, and a tightly controlled viewing area are not signs of civic planning. They are damage control. The event is being engineered to produce a photograph, not a crowd. Blame is being pushed downward. The framing pretends the obstacle is weather, security, and public fickleness. That is convenient nonsense. The heat does not explain the late schedule. Security does not explain the impulse to stage a grandiose spectacle on the mall. And nobody will show up is not a natural disaster. It is the predictable result of turning a national holiday into a loyalty pageant for one man. The quote from the unnamed insider is revealing. I'm really not sure who thought this was a good idea. That is the language of institutional cowardice, not accountability. Everyone involved knows the decision was made upstairs. No one wants to say who signed off on the bad idea because the system is built to protect the boss and distribute the embarrassment downward. Free tickets, empty seats, managed reality. The ticketing system is the tell. If the event were truly about public participation, there would be no need to game attendance with free reserved spots and hopes that enough bodies materialize for the cameras. The administration is trying to simulate enthusiasm while anticipating failure. That is not outreach. It is image laundering. The refusal to allow coolers during a forecast 100-degree heat wave fits the same pattern. Public comfort matters less than control. The crowd is expected to endure discomfort, so the event can be staged on Trump's terms, even if those terms make the whole thing look brittle and desperate. Trump's familiar pattern. Trump's remark about fake news saying he didn't fill out the arena is the core of the operation. The issue is never the substance of the event. It is always the optics, the grievance, the demand that public reality conform to presidential self-regard. When the crowd is sparse, the problem becomes the media. When the schedule is absurd, the problem becomes the audience. When the spectacle looks weak, the blame gets kicked outward. That is a familiar authoritarian habit. Convert governing into performance, then declare any failure evidence of sabotage rather than incompetence. The systemic error. The larger pattern is not merely one bad holiday event. It is the normalization of state power as vanity production. Public institutions are being bent toward a leader's need for affirmation, while staffers scramble to preserve the illusion after the fact. The result is a government that can mobilize security, logistics, and symbolism, but cannot manufacture legitimacy. This is what political decay looks like when it is dressed up as patriotism, a national holiday turned into a loyalty test, a public spectacle built on fear of empty seats, and an administration that mistakes control of the stage for control of the country. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Marcus. Thanks for listening.